ليلة مسافر أنا ما جبر الخاطر لي أنا ليلة مسافر أنا ما جبر الخاطر الساعة 5 ويا حبيب ما تنسى الساعة 5 ويا حبيب ما تنسى يا حبيب ما تنسى أنا في محطة 5 مواعيدنا الليلة مسافر أنا ما جبر الخاطر لي أنا الليلة مسافر أنا
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Babike the Traveler's Podcast. I have with me here a very dear friend of mine, Ugo. Actually, fuck, I don't know what's your second name. That's a wonderful start. So, Ugo, first tell what's up. He's a professional data analyst, professional model, professional indoor climber,
Yeah, listen.
and a part-time volleyballer and chick magnet. So, with that said, Ugo, please tell us your full name.
Professional drinker and
I think everyone hears that.
bar
Professional.
crawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. How I have to say that I arrived in Prague this year.
Bro, what's your full name first? Let's go step by step.
Ugo Gallo.
Gallo, yes, there you go.
Gallo, it's like a rooster in Italian.
Okay.
And yeah, from the north, near Venice, from a city called Padova. And I don't know which direction to take. It's hard when they tell you like who you are, what you do, because I feel I'm multiple things.
I am everything.
Yeah, I feel like my personality is who I am, not what I do, and what I do are more.
It sounded
things
like one
that-
of those like meaningless quotes that girls think are very deep, which is probably why you do so well with the world.
Yeah, come in handy.
It's all good, dude.
Some nice quotes.
So, dipped your life into many things. We'll probably talk about many topics, but first let's just learn a little bit more about you. So, first, so you were from a village in North Italy, let's say.
It's not a village. It's like
There, look at the guy. It's not a village, yeah.
it's like this. I think I don't know. I keep repeating this, but I'm not too sure it's true. But I read somewhere that it's the second city built in Italy after Rome. And
What's it called? Sorry?
Padova.
Padova.
We have the oldest
Oh, no one knows
Medici.
shit about Padova. What the fuck?
We have
People know like 12, maybe at least 6 cities in Italy, but I don't think I've ever heard
some
of it.
people. Yeah, some people know. It's not that big. It's not that famous. It's mostly like a university city.
What's the most
There's a lot
famous
of-
thing about Padova?
We have the oldest medicine university in the world, and this year it's 800 years of
Okay.
non-stop practicing. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
And we have the third biggest square in the world. It's called Prato della Valle. First one is Tiananmen in Beijing, and then Red Square in Moscow.
Tiananmen Square, everyone's face. That's cool.
That's a one close to our heart.
Okay, nothing happens in that square. But anyways, you were saying, keep on.
And it's a very nice old medieval city. Like the city center, it's all cobblestones and the buildings. are all
Which city would you say is more medieval? Prague or Padova?
Ooh. I think Prague, it's more majestic, it's bigger, but as thing that lasting a long time, I think maybe Padova has some nice little things hidden here and there. We have a botanic garden that is also really old. We have a church for Saint Anthony, because Saint Anthony, so we have a debate between Lisbon and Padova, because we claim Saint Anthony
saint.
as ours, and Lisbon people claim Saint Anthony as theirs.
True.
And I think he was born in Padua and then he died in Lisbon, or the other way around, not too sure. And so we both claim as ours, but we have this huge church in the city center where we hold, I think it's called, in Italian it's called reliquia. It's like relics of, so we have
of the
his-
saints. Yeah.
we have his tongue and we have his pinky, like in a glass jar.
Nice.
Inside the church.
Yeah, it's always like amazing to go to museums or like kind of historical places and see the valuable relics that they still hold and that they put a lot of value into. I went to once the Ottoman palace. What's it called? Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, and the amount of relics they have there is crazy. Like it's all of the they have like the clothes of the prophet, and like they have like hairs of the prophet. That there's people would carry them around and take blessings from them.
You kind of have to trust.
Yeah, but so, like some of them have like very strong historical records. So I think a lot of them they were homed by whoever was the Khalifa, the Caliph of the Muslim world for them, and that caliphate eventually went to the Ottomans, and so they took a lot of the relics that were previously held in like Baghdad, which is the old one. So there's definitely like some legitimacy, but there's also like the same case for you. Like there's different people claiming like you have the famous. My brother, he visited Egypt recently, and he went to a place where they claimed they have Al Hassan's head. Al Hassan is the grandson of the Prophet, and like they claim that, but there's also another place in Syria that claims that, and there's a place in Saudi that claims that they have the head. So it's like, it's a you
and then in old times, you didn't have cameras, you didn't have security. A monk just clumsy would like pour some coffee or some tea over the tunic of Christ, and he just threw it away and pick another one and put it in its place, and we would never know.
Yeah. I think they discovered tea and coffee way after those times, but
fair
enough. All right, so let's head into more of your wide, let's say, very colorful life. So what did you study in university?
So I studied linguistic and cultural mediation in Chinese and English. And
why did you choose that?
Yeah, so my choice was between psychology or languages. I wanted to be able to travel. So my choice was between the chance of traveling or the chance of meeting a lot of girls. So psychology is kind of well known.
Yeah, your priorities, right?
80-20.
Early on, okay.
And then I went for the option for traveling. I thought that if I knew Chinese, every country has business with China, it would be like a good getaway, like a good key that would open me many doors to like many different countries. And it actually was. After I finished, actually when I was studying Chinese, we had to spend 1 semester in China. And when I was there and I was browsing like the Chinese Craigslist for some jobs to do while I was there, and I was trying like a private teacher, private English teacher, or kindergarten teacher, and I really didn't like it. Like you had to introduce yourself to the family, you had to lie to their face and say like, oh yes, I'm Canadian, I'm a professional teacher, like I taught for like 5 years, and I didn't like it, and I didn't like school, and I didn't like to be part of the school. So one of the jobs that attracted my attention was these. They were looking for extras for a movie with Nicolas Cage and Aiden Christensen.
Wow.
I was thinking,
okay,
this sounds super sketchy, but I'm gonna send my description.
Just and on Chinese Craigslist, like A-star celebrities. Okay.
And I was like, yeah. And they answered me back, and they were like, okay, you you got chosen. You need to send like all this information, like your measures, and they were asking me like my arm size, the circumference of my head, the circumference of my knees, like super weird measurements. And I was thinking like, are they building a coffin for me? Like, are they gonna hit me in the head and take all my organs and leave me in the ditch? And I was super scared. And luckily, one day before going, they were asking for some more people because someone bailed, and I managed to get one of my Russian classmates to join. And it was like this big Russian scary dude. And I was like, "You want somebody?" And he was like, "Yes." And it was like, "Okay, we go for a week outside Beijing." And he was like, "Okay, let's go." So we go in the bus, and we actually drove for like 4 hours outside the city. And when you travel outside the cities in China, it gets wild really fast. And we drove into this huge field where they actually rebuilt a medieval city. And they had all these camera equipment, all these actors, all these stuntmen. And so it's like, well, this is real. Like, we're not going to get mugged and sold for our organs. And we ended up staying there for like a week. The movie was Outcast, and the plot is Hayden Christensen decided to run away from the war in Jerusalem and run into the Deep East and falls in love with the Chinese princess, and Nicolas Cage is like the old general that goes after him and try to bring him back to his duties. And it was super fun. We were dressed as crusaders. They were like splashing us with blood.
Wait, so what's the movie called?
Outcast.
Outcast. So if people watch the movie now, can they still find you? Are they?
Yeah, I think there is one scene where I'm like holding my spear.
Well, that's great. I didn't even know.
I'm giving my spear to Hayden Christensen.
And we need to find that clip and you just put it in the middle of this.
On my Instagram, I have like a picture.
Oh, you have it?
Hayden
Oh god,
Christensen,
that's amazing. Okay, we're gonna have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how did you? So what did you do after this successful movie performance? Did you like complete your way into Hollywood or?
No. So that was really basic. Like we were the people fighting in the background or the dead corpses on the field. But from there, like I started to know people that were stuntmen and people that were trying to do this a little more professionally. And from there, I did like another job. And another opportunity I had was really cool. Was a TV show about Mao Zedong. And some of the scenes we had to shoot inside the Hall of the People in Tiananmen Square. That is basically the parliament. And I think, I'm not too sure how many foreigners have ever entered the Hall of the People. I don't think that many. And if anyone ever entered, it was probably like some high official or like some representative of some country. And not like some random Italian or Russian guy like walking around with like a fake camera. And yeah, I sat where Chinese president sits in the Hall of the People. It's actually like an impressive place. It's like this huge convention center. It looks like an amphitheater with the whole ceiling. It's like covered like in stars, like red and yellow and white stars, and it looks mad. And it was a surreal experience. And there were all these actors look-alike of Mao Zedong. It was really weird. Everyone dressed like they were in the 60s, and it was a cool experience. And then slowly I started to meet people that were doing shootings more than movies. And I ended up meeting some models, and they told me, this is how the work works, and you have a lot of chance to travel and be in different capitals around Asia.
World,
So I came back home, and I finished my degree. I went to Milan. I downloaded the list of all the agencies in Milan, and I went to knock at each door, and I was like, okay, I want to start modeling. Like, you want to work with me or no? I got some couple of yes, mostly no's, but a couple of yes. Then I went to the ones that looked trustworthy. I lived in Milan for a little bit. Job sucked. Milan sucks. I don't know. I think it's like an Italian point of view on Milan. I really hated it. I mean, it was fun. Like there were some people around, but modeling environment, it's really trashy.
Yeah, I would assume that's something that's just very hard to start with. Like it's one of those careers where I would assume you need to already have something of a head start by some kind of background, either acting or just have like a popular social media following. You need something. I feel like it's not something you want to start from zero. It's
now it's even harder. Like like agencies require you to have like already top followers. Like if you want to travel to the US as a model, like they ask you like that you must have at least like 10,000 followers on social media.
Yeah.
Most of the shootings that you do, there is like an extra for posting like some stories or some pictures on your socials, and fuck that, I don't know about that. But at first it was kind of easier. But the thing was that in Milan, like people wanted to be international, and you would go to castings, and they're like, oh, like Italians like stylish that didn't know how to speak English, and they'll be like, oh, hello, what's your name? And I would be like, I'm Ugo from Padova. And they were like, oh, okay, thank you, ciao. And
that's it? Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Yikes.
And, it was I didn't like it, and then I was like, okay, can you send me back to China? And they did, and I fell in love. It was 2016.
Wait. When you say, can you send me back to China? Who sent you back to China?
Sorry.
You made it sound like you had like Chinese parents who were just waiting for you to come back to China.
I went to my manager to my model agency in Milan, and I was like, here's not working that well. Like, are there other markets I can try? And they were like, yeah, for sure. Like Asia is like a little bit easier market. It's less competition, and you have good perks. You get the agency that choose you. They're gonna pay upfront your flight ticket. They're gonna give you an accommodation. They're gonna give you a driver. So every day, like they pick you up with a driver.
Wow.
They bring you to castings, or they bring you to jobs, or where you need to go. And every week they give you like allowance money. So.
Wow.
You don't have to.
This is very big difference.
Yeah, exactly. It's really big difference because they kind of need to like push people to go there. Otherwise, people are not that keen to go, especially at first, you know.
I can imagine.
And I mean, it's all money that you have to pay back. But at the first.
Wait. So it's like they give you this money, but like they loan it out. Or
Yeah. So it's like an investment they do on you. Like if you don't work, it's their loss. You don't have to pay nothing out of your pocket. But when you start working, they deduct
from your salary.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's I mean, kind of a loan, but kind of not really.
Yeah, it's kind of fair. Like some places they can have fair prices, but you have to consider that out of every dollar you make, 50% goes to the agency. 40 to the agency.
Is this forever or like until you pay them back?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah,
Okay,
but wait. So every dollar you make, 40% goes to the agency in China and 10% to the agency in Italy.
Okay.
Of that, you have to pay your expenses. Let's say every month it's $500 for accommodation, $500 for the driver, $500 for the $100 a week allowance that they give you, plus your flight and everything. So every month you start with a minus. Let's say you stay 3 months, you're already in debt to like $3,000. But you have to make $6,000 to pay those $3,000 because the 50% that they take is their cut. It's not
the 50% that goes back to paying.
No. That's the
so
fee
on
that they
top
take.
of the 50%, they take another.
Another
Yikes,
$3,000.
my dude.
So after you make $6,000, then you start to make still like 50% anyway. But
but at least you
money.
keep a little bit more money.
Yeah.
My God! So those first few months, you're making like nothing.
Yeah. That's why in China there was like this big business of clubbing, and there is like when we were in Shanghai, there was like maybe 20 clubs that would pay foreigners to go and make the club more international because Chinese people don't know how to party.
I love how you said that. I just thought Chinese people they don't know how to party.
No, they don't know. Like this is a well thought out thought. Like I lived a lot in China. Like I can speak Chinese, and I like to like talk to people and try to analyze like why they do.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I think clubbing culture is a very European Western thing, right? Like if you go to I don't know Sudan, you're not gonna find. I mean, good luck finding a club, but even there, you're not gonna find the same vibe or expected traditions of a Western nightclub. So I can imagine China's kind of well. It depends actually. I've never been there, but I would assume they have a very big. Especially in Shanghai, in the big cities, like a lot of Westerners who do Western things, and Chinese people trying to mix in there is going to be pretty awkward for them. But
they're super capitalist, and it's like a way to kind of show off, and they see. So the thing is, like China is completely isolated from what's happening around the world.
Yeah,
and all they see it's like from 8 or 10 movies that the CCP allows to be shown in China, and usually are like these big. American's blockbuster with Tony Stark that goes around like in an Audi R8 and he has like this kind of watch and he has this kind of suit or like Superman or like all these movies.
Yeah.
And so they have a very distorted idea of like they think everyone lives like we are in New York or we are in LA and they started to build clubs. And clubs, they work there is no dance floor. It's basically table after table, and you stand up or you sit down. Like if you stand up, it's cheaper. If you sit, like it's more expensive. And they're super expensive. Like the cheapest table goes from like I don't know, $300 to $10,000 to have a table, and then on top you have to pay the drinks. So clubs make a shit ton of money.
So clubs are literally just status, like show offing.
Yes, and there is all this bottle service thing where people order like 150 bottles of beer like in a huge like bathtub full of ice, and they just put them, and it's like maybe 2 guys, and they put these in front of their table, and like they spend the time trying to get the girls from the other table that are already invited by some other dudes, and trying to get them to their table, and then give away bottles to people, and sometimes they don't even drink them. They drink like maybe 4, and then they have huge storage houses inside the clubs where they keep like all the bottles that you bought. So if you come again, you just pay for the table and you have the drinks from the previous time.
Wow, that's crazy. Dude.
It's super crazy.
This is so different. Yeah.
They have like all these different kind of glass cabinets where they.
So what were you doing in that environment?
We would get smashed and like rave like idiots. Probably pretty fun. And but there was like an open invite because even Chinese, like they have all these show off mentality, so they only hang out around their table. There would be like maybe a little dance floor like in front of the DJ, but would really be like 5% of the whole club. Like, and this club would be huge, like 2 floor, 7 toilets, like really big, but wasted, just there for people to make money and to show how much money they had. And so every young people would be invited to go there. Like there would be like students and models and randoms. Not everyone get paid. Mostly just models. Like you have the PR, they usually is foreigner, and they had like this whole system where you could choose like 20 clubs to go to. And I remember when I arrived in Shanghai, I was like, okay, got the contact with a couple of PRs. I'm like, okay, this is like where you want to go. And some clubs would pay less, some clubs would pay more. And the more the club would pay, the more shitty the experience would be. And it's always like this. Like there was this place that would pay up to like $80, $100 a night to go there. But you would have to go dressed super well in a suit with leather shoes. They would tell you like you were not allowed to like get to drug. You could, but you were not allowed to do whatever you wanted. Like they would come to you, there would be like 3 or 4 PRs walking around the club and making sure that every part of the club would be having a good time. So if there was like a table, there was a little like too laid back and like chilling too much. Yeah, they would send like 2 models in front of the table to dance and get the Chinese people to like start having fun. And then they would like really like manage all these people, like 100 people, and be like, okay, you go there, you go dance, you go to the table, you go to the bar.
So they would like order you around sometimes?
Yes, order you around. And so that like they would want you to like stay on the dance floor for like 4 hours non-stop dancing. And it was tough.
That's like an actual job. Like you're not going to have fun.
But that would be money. And these clubs would go on like from Monday to Friday, like every night of the week. So it would be fun in the morning, because in the morning every model, like every agency, they have their own apartment, maybe like 8 models per apartment, maybe 2 or 3 apartments. And in the morning they go with the van, they pick them all up, and they all go to the castings. And then at the casting you would find there would be like these photographer studios or these brands. And you go there like to show yourself, like you have a little book, you have your com cards, like where you show like pictures that you've done in the past, and they choose you. And so from the morning you would start to see like all the people that you saw in the club the day before, and like everyone half dead. Like we would smoke joints like outside every casting. Like we would have like some friends, and then there would be people from all over the world. A lot of Brazilians, a lot of Russians. We would go to a casting, find some friends, smoke a joint, do the casting, get back in the van. Like it was really a brainless experience. Like you would wake up in the morning, smoke a joint on the way to the van, sit in the van, roll another joint, go to the first casting, do the casting, chat with people, have a coffee, talk to some cuties, like try to organize the night again and see like where people will be going to. And that would be like that until like 4 or 6 in the afternoon, and then you get back to your apartment, you make dinner, you go to the gym if you have energy, and at 9:30 you would have to get in the taxi and go to the club, because you have to be from 10 to 2 a.m. and it would be like you had to be there at this time.
So you basically had like 2 jobs, like nightclubbing and modeling.
Yeah. Some people would completely like give up modeling. I mean, you had
like people would like nightclub full time.
Oh yeah. And people would be like working as PRs. There would be this crazy place. It's kind of interesting, because that was the dynamics of the nightlife of one of the capital, and it would be the same like in Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, like all the main cities in China would be all the same. But this would be quite similar, like in other countries as well, like in Thailand or everywhere, like where there is a club, there's always like a PR that invite models, but different kind of stylings and probably not paid as much.
Yeah, probably not like ordering them to move from table to table.
That was so weird.
But
and then
like,
they would give you like bottles of Grey Goose filled with fake Chinese vodka, and you like just to pretend, they would be there like at the table with like these nice bottles, and the morning after you'd have like the worst hangovers.
Headaches, I can imagine. So you were So how long did that last for you in China?
So I think this was my first. So when I arrived to China, I stayed 4 months in Shanghai. And then my visa ran out, and I was supposed to fly back home, and I decided to prolong and stay a little longer. And I ended up going to Bali for a month, waiting for another contract. And then I had a contract in Kuala Lumpur. I went there for 3 months. After that, I went to.
So you had like a little South Asian tour there.
Yeah. Then I went to Seoul. I lived in Seoul for 2 months. Every time with a different agency, same scouter. I left my agency.
So you were working this entire time.
Yeah. Okay. I would be able to make like some money, like like you always have things paid up front. Maybe some countries go better than others. Korea, for example, was really expensive because you would share an apartment with like 6-8 people and spend $800 a month for rent.
Holy shit.
You know, and it's like
insane. But I mean,
7 people,
it's
it
also
makes like
so-
$4,000. Like you get like a huge villa if you put all the money together. But you know, it's not money that I feel coming out of my pockets.
Yeah, if it's all up front, yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
Then from there I went to Hanoi. I lived 2 months in Hanoi, and then a cutie that I met in Korea, she kind of told me that she went to the agency I used to be in Shanghai with. And I was like, okay, I'm going to Shanghai. But Vietnam didn't have a good relationship with China at the time, and they didn't want to give me the visa. I went to the embassy like 3 times. They're like, no, rejected.
It's very annoying.
And I flew, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna fly to Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, there would be this lady that you would pay her like a fixed price, and within 1 day you would have like your visa, like whatever visa you want. I don't know how it worked. Like she had an husband working in the embassy or like working in some office.
Okay.
I was really chill. And Hong Kong is nice. It's like
So you just did that, and it worked. Okay.
I went to Hong Kong.
All right, guys. If anybody needs a visa to China, just fucking call Ugo. He'll fix you up.
I think it doesn't work anymore like this.
This is back in the day.
changed.
Yeah, less.
And then from there, I went back to China, and there it's when I started to make work well, and because I could speak Chinese, I could keep my clients that I had, and build some personal relationship, and slowly my career increased, and work was going great. I found a nice girl that I started to live together with. No, I didn't start to live together with, but we were in the same agency. We started dating, and I had so many jobs booked, and I tried to do jump a few stairs with my penny board, and I broke my leg. I went to the hospital. They don't really fix it. They just put a half a cuff around my leg, just like a metal thing underneath, and they wrapped it. And then I had to fly back home, and then I flew back to China, and from there I stayed in China for 2 years straight, and I stayed 1 year in Shanghai, 1 year in Guangzhou. Maybe even more, maybe another year in Shanghai. And those years were great. It was really fun. I was living with my ex, and it changes the experience so much, in dirty apartments with random people that change every 3 months. It's always
being with one person and
you would focus more on your time. I would just select the jobs that I would like to do, and it was getting better and better and better, higher quality, higher pay, and I enjoyed it. But slowly the Chinese government started to become a little more oppressive, a little less welcoming towards foreigners. And
this was what year? 2017, 2018?
Yeah, exactly. And they would start to do already smoking weed would be close to impossible. Weed it's actually fun. I used to be a big smoker sometimes.
Used to. Okay.
Big. And it's kind of cool to see weed cultures in different countries. And when I moved there, at first it was $2 a gram, and then slowly it got all the way to $30-$35 a gram.
Wow.
And
that's a big
until
increase.
Until to the point where you couldn't find it anymore. And you could smoke in a taxi. I always had a joint rolled on the way to the club where when I was going to get paid, I would have these I don't know, maybe 15 kilometers to do by car. And there would be this huge bridge crossing this huge river that crossed Shanghai, and while crossing you would see the skyline on the other side.
Of course,
just
yeah.
with the window open, looking at that would be my intro to the city. I really loved it. And in 2017-18 they started to do police raids in clubs, and they started to organize police raids to the clubs. Would be set up like this. They would send 5 to 6 police buses, couches, and coach, right? 5 police buses, 50 policemen, and they would grab everyone from the club, 300 people, the managers, the bartenders, the tiny Chinese cleaning lady in the toilet to give you napkins. Every client that was in the club at that moment, everyone to the forensic center. Hair test, pee test. If you're positive, you go straight to jail. There is no even passing through the start. Straight to jail. And it would be a hustle. Imagine you're a foreigner, you go to a club one night and the police raids you, and you're constricted to stay in a forensic or in a cell for 8 hours until you get tested. And and then I would see police barricades in the metro station, and they would stop people at random and go pee in a bag in the toilet of the metro.
Weed doesn't show in your pee, right?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
Oh,
weed
shit.
is actually the worst because it lasts the longest in your system. It lasts in your pee for like up to like I don't know, like maybe a couple of weeks, and it stays in.
Holy
your,
shit!
stays in-
Okay, so if you get caught, you're fucked basically.
yeah, it stays in your hair for like 6 months, and everything else lasts much less. Like I don't know, for example, Coke it stays in your hair, like in your pee for like a day, or in your hair. Probably in the hair, everything stays a little longer. But pee in your pee, like everything, weed lasts
Okay.
everywhere.
So were you caught?
I wasn't caught. I stopped everything.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there
Just to
was
be
this
safe.
Brazilian guy I knew, and he would always have weed. And we would smoke at his place, and every time after we would smoke at his place, I wouldn't leave my apartment for 3 days, or just leave the apartment to go to the gym, work out, sweat it out, eat as healthy as I could, and I was trying to like flush my body and get clean naturally. And
That's great. Yeah.
he got arrested. He did 2 weeks in jail. He actually got arrested again before COVID happened. I don't know for what reason. I know the first reason was weed. The second one, I guess, again. But I don't think so because it was impossible to buy. He stayed in jail from November 2019 until March 2022.
Oh, 3 years.
Yeah, like 2 years and something. Like he did the whole COVID in jail
In jail?
in Shanghai. He had 30 minutes
That would
of
suck.
yeah, oh my god. He would have like 30 minutes free every month or like some crazy thing like that. And he told me how it is in the jail. Like you have the lights on all the time. You have to do your bed every morning. Like they come and they like check everything. You have to sit or you have to stand like in different rooms, and you cannot talk, and you have to stay there like in these super white empty rooms by yourself or with some other people where you cannot have any interaction with. And he told me that it was the worst experience he ever had, the 2 weeks one. And
Wow.
I can't even imagine
How much the 3 years would.
and he's actually
probably do this
out and
right.
he's in Portugal last time I heard. And I think he would be someone with some crazy stories to tell.
I can imagine,
Oh
bro.
my god.
If he still has his sanity after that experience. My goodness. So
Yeah.
you decided to play it safe, and
Yeah, avoid everything and
so did you
Was
last much longer in China after this, or?
yeah. I lasted for a bit, and then I really didn't like the fact that they were going to your house and like because when you're
They would
there,
search your
like
house.
you would be registered at the local police station. every
I
time.
know this,
So
yeah.
they would know where every foreigner would be at every given
Living,
time.
yeah.
And so they started to go like they raided all the clubs, they closed all the clubs, so they started to go like door by door to find all the foreigners and like bring them directly to the forensic. And they came for me, and
So they would
I was clean,
they
you
would
know,
literally
like-
just knock on your door just because you're a foreigner.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. They would have a list, like they would be like, okay, now we go through these
Yeah, but
neighborhood.
was
number
it because they were expecting foreigners to be doing drugs?
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
At home?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were expecting. I think they wanted to like put a like hard no on the whole story and going through the whole population and just ban it completely. And and they came to
Quite
pick
a
me
shift.
up, and it was okay, you know, like 4 policemen. They come with the police car. First time they came, I wasn't home. They called me, and so they had my number as well. And they're like, "Okay, it's your turn." They didn't
Very
say-
nice of them.
They didn't say like this, you know, but I was
Yeah.
obvious what it was for. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and I was at the gym, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be home at this time. And so I went home, I had dinner, I took a shower, and then
And then
showed
you had
up.
a cup of tea ready. You were like,
Yeah.
yeah, guys.
I got a backpack ready with my Kindle. What else did I have? Like I had a bottle of water, some snacks, like my headphones. I was like, I'm going for like a little trip. And they put me in the police car. They start to ask me questions. There was like a guy dressed as a civilian with a camera filming everything. And because in China they have all these police sympathizers that are like people that I don't know, they have nothing. There is all these different levels of police, and so people like monitor each other. And
China has a bit of a that communist vibe where like everyone is incentivized to tell on everyone all the time.
yeah,
So which actually used to be here also in the Czech Republic back in the communist days.
yeah, which is awful.
It's like a third of the population was a member of the Communist Party, and kids would tell on their parents, and like I would hear stories from that time, and it really ruins the trust in each other. I feel like you could still feel the effect of that in the Czech Republic and the people, like the effects of the long-term effects of communism. It's like still very undercutted. Czechs don't really trust each other. I feel pretty strongly. Even family members. Like, it's not like as a people. Like it's like on all levels. You would commonly hear Czechs say this, like, I prefer hanging out with foreigners and stuff.
Yeah, there would be like this cartoon of this Chinese girl reporting her dad to the authorities because he would be like complotting against the party, and they say she would be like the little like red star, I don't know, whatever of the party, and because the party comes above like family and any ties, and it's scary, and yeah, so everything went well. Like they tested me, they let me go, and but then I was like, I don't want to live in a country where
where I can be kicked
you're not
out.
welcome. You're not welcome.
You feel it, yeah.
And it was dirty money. I feel like China is like such an oppressive and strange country, and I didn't feel good anymore making that money in that country.
Right? It's that's an interesting feeling you described. It's like when you know, even if you're not directly related to it, but when you know that like you're kind of surrounded, or let's say you're in an environment where it's like evil.
Yeah, exactly. Evil
or stuff. It's like you don't feel even if you're not targeted or you're not kicked out yet or you're not like it's like am I gonna just wait until the axe falls on me, right? It's like I'd rather just leave while I still have my body parts intact.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like I cannot imagine these people that work for like these big corporations that lobby to, I don't know, be able to pollute more, or they lobby to reduce the amount of chemicals they can put in your food. And how do you go to sleep? You know, like how do you live knowing what you're doing?
One of my previous jobs, I don't think it's necessary to name it, but like I learned, you know, a couple of months into it, like maybe 6 months into it, that they had like an office in Israel. And it was like, you know, most international companies have an office in Israel. It's not a big deal. But like these guys, it wasn't just any office. Like they were actively like helping the Israeli like they were, you know, like the wall between the Palestinian side and the Israeli side. They were like the main people constructing that wall. So it's like, okay, like you guys are like supporting, you know, an active colonization project. Like I don't feel bad. I don't feel good. I just can't work. Like after I learned that particular fact, I just couldn't. I remember I had such like the funniest. It was like one of the weirdest calls ever because I was shocked to find this. I phoned the HR, and I was like, this is probably a dumb idea, but I phoned the HR and I was like, hey guys, so I looked up and. Is this true that like you guys
is this what we're doing?
Is this what we're doing? And you know what their response was? The response was like, well, it's not like we're giving them, you know, weapons or anything. And I was like, okay, I guess happy to hear from you. Have a nice day. Boom. Start looking for a new job. It was like terrible, dude. Within 1 month, I found a new job and
that's good.
But it's like yeah, it's so hard, man. Like I feel like if you really dig deep into most companies, you could find some fucked up parts, especially international companies.
Yeah, the more they grow, even like every company that works in China, they make deals with the devil. Like for example, like Google is banned in China, and Google's motto was don't be evil. And in China, they were like, okay, listen, like we're gonna allow you to work here if you change your motto. And Google changed its motto to don't do evil. You know, it's like a different approach to the. And it's very interesting.
Wait, why did they have a problem with don't be evil?
Yeah, wonder why. And like all these little things, like all these companies that they sell their soul, like in the name of making money. But now, like a third of luxury tourism is made by Chinese. A third of luxury products is bought by Chinese people. And all these brands, like they have to, like sometimes like it comes out that there are movies that have like some reference to Taiwan or
it's
through
deleted,
historical,
censored.
Even the last Maverick, like there is a scene where Tom Cruise is wearing like a jacket, and it was like a commemorial jacket of like some Pacific train between US, Taiwan, Japan, and I don't know who else. And there was the Taiwanese flag, and China is like, we don't recognize Taiwan, so we don't want to have like an independent flag like on the jacket. And first they removed it from the trailer, and then they were like, listen, like this is the original jacket, we don't give a fuck, like Taiwan is Taiwan. And now Maverick, it's not shown in China.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
It's crazy.
It's crazy,
and it's cool to see people that take a stand, you know. And
like, there's very very few of them, but like it was crazy to see like how quickly people capitulated early on.
Even Avengers, they had to change like a character, or I think it was Doctor Strange. I think its trainer was supposed to be a Tibetan monk, and they changed it into the lady that is actually training him because Tibet it's another like delicate topic, and you can have.
Remember when that was a big deal? I remember when like the Tibetan guy he died, right? The big monk who was famous. What was he called?
Dalai Lama.
Yeah, the Dalai Lama. That's sorry, I forgot. But yeah, bro. Like that guy and his movement against China, it was like super popular in the West, and like they supported him for a very long time. But now it's like no one's gonna talk about the fact that I think
he lives in India.
No, he died recently. I'm pretty sure.
Did the Dalai Lama died?
Pretty sure. I mean, I might. Okay.
Okay, I think
actually, I have to Google right here. Let me just look it up. But whether he died or not, but I remember like one of the stories was that the way the Dalai Lama works is that he appoints the next successor, and the person he appointed like was the Chinese Communist Party. Like they took him and they indoctrinated him, and then he's like, okay, he's no longer my successor.
I don't think you can appoint your successor. I think it works that there is like a group of high level monks, that they keep like some.
Oh no, he's still alive. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, what the fuck.
Okay, I'll shut up. Okay.
There is a super cool movie about the Dalai Lama. It's really beautiful, and because they find them when they're really young, and there is like a group of monks that keep some belongings of the previous Dalai Lama, or like even old Dalai Lamas, like from previous generations, and they go to like all these kids that are born at around the same time that the Dalai Lama is dead, and they go and they carry all these tools that they used to live in during their life. And the kids, if the kids choose the right tools that they belong to previous Dalai Lamas, then that's how they recognize that that's them. And it's actually really, really cool. It's like a nice system. It's
it's
very romantic,
unique. Man, this guy's old as fuck. He's like 87. Okay. But yeah,
we should get there too.
We'll see. Well, with your partying, I don't think you're gonna. Okay. All right. So that was China. So eventually you chose to come back, then here, and then you did a very big career shift.
Yeah. Fuck, I feel like I'm talking a lot about myself. It's like
well, it's an introduction, but like, it's like I think it's important to.
A lot of jobs, it's not linear. Like many things happen in between, and so maybe that's
it's not a fucking diary, bro. Like, you have to cover it all, but like the big shifts, so people get the gist. And so when you moved back to Italy, I assume at first, and then you thought, okay, I think you tried to get into modeling for a while, and you realized it's still shit here.
Yeah, not even that much. I just wanted to study programming, and I wanted to have like another job that allowed me to travel and be independent. And
I did the same goals.
Data science, and I lived in Portugal for a year and a half. I worked there like as a marketing analyst, and got bored of it. Moved to Prague because of this job.
You currently have, and so now you're.
And that's where we met.
I met him at a
1 month after
company. And
and this is where I am now.
Prague is a very good city for, I think, like our kind of like independent, like people who want to be independent, mainly through IT, but really through lots of other stuff. Like I find a lot of people here, like from the UK, from the US, who are kind of looking for the same thing. And
it's really nice here. I think like there is a good balance of nature, city life, nightlife.
Prague, I like how someone put it. It's like Prague is the biggest village, because Prague really doesn't feel like a big city. It really gives the vibe of a town or a village. Whenever I say this, but Czech people always offend. It's like, no, Prague's a city. It's like, yeah, it is, but like if you compare it to Berlin or London or like the actual big cities, like Prague really doesn't feel like, you don't have that congestion. You never feel like there's too many people that get me out. It's like there's the and actually I looked at the demographics. So Prague's population has roughly remained the same throughout like the past like 100 years. Like it's been roughly at 1 million. Like right now it's like 1.5 billion. It's pretty much the same. But when you look at any other city, they have like the big cities. They've like, grown a bajillion percent over the past 100 years. And one of the reasons that Prague feels so good is that it is designed from the ground up to hold just the exact amount of people that it currently has. So that's why one of the reasons why. So like the public transportation never feels like, oh, I can't stand inside the train. I can't. If you've ever been in the on the subway in London, you know how that feels. Or I don't know, in Japan, in Tokyo, like those places, they look like a nightmare where they're like pushing into people inside the bus. It's like you never feel that here. It's like there's just enough people. So that's like, and one of the things that I just like, which is. Like it sounds dumb, but when you say it out, when you notice it, you realize you never feel this in a big city. The fact that you can like literally meet people that you know, like just on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Like I would be just in a tram and it's just like, oh, here's my professor. It's like, oh, you go to a bar and it's like, oh, it's my friends from this. Oh, this is my friends from work. It's like you just meet people on the way because it's so small and there's not that many places to go.
I think it's a great place to move by yourself and easily to make friends and.
A very big international community.
Yeah. I really like that Czech people are a lot into sports and activities, and there is so much green around. And
they really care about like parks and anywhere you live here in the cities. Like there's a park, 2-minute walk from you, right? I have one of the biggest parks close to me, just across the river. So it's I go there like every other day, just chill in the park.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's something that in China I missed a lot. The ability to
and those big cities
walk around and not have people,
I do slightly miss the desert, but that's an aspect of being in Saudi, where like always surrounded by you're always kind of surrounded by and the desert is it's a very different vibe, definitely from the park. But the park is, I'd say, probably it's more attractive to most people.
Yeah,
the desert has its own like allureness, has its own attractiveness. That's hard to. It's hard to
peace and quiet. And...
It's very, very peaceful, very quiet. I don't know. It's like spiritually in a way that like, the thing is with a park is like it feels very. I don't want to say unnatural, but it's like like okay, this is the part for where you walk, and here's a part for the trees, and here's a part where the kids play. It's like, it's very organized, it's very set. But the desert, no, it's like. There can be one dune one day, and it's like tomorrow it's a different dune, right? It's like it's all constantly shifting, constantly moving, and you find just like random stuff, very weird animals, fucking scorpions out to kill you. It's not fun, but it's like there's a mystique to it that is unmatched. Tough
to survive there as well.
Yeah, and it's the fact that it's always there, and like you can never, like, I guess you can, but like. I'm never worried that maybe one day we're going to build the city over the desert. It's like the desert's too big. We're not
that's what happened.
But you look at the park and you're like, okay, let's hope that they don't build a fucking skyscraper on top of this, right? So it's a very different vibe. I really miss camping, man. Have you ever done camping just like in a park or like in the nature?
Yeah, not too often though. I would like to do it more. I have my tent in my car as well.
Oh, you have a tent?
Yeah.
Fuck, we have to do it now.
Yeah. The last camping I did was for a musical festival.
Yeah, music festival, boy.
But that was nice. It was a nice excuse. Like, you still have to be prepared. Like, it's very easy. Like, you have toilets, you have water, you have everything. Like, you have food stalls. But still, like, the experience of staying in a tent, it's like...
Shitting in the... Bro, there's nothing... I don't know why, but like... Pissing in nature just feels so good.
Yeah.
It's just good. And I don't know what is with Czech people, but they really like pissing like in the middle of the street. It's something that's very, very normalized here. Like
True. A little too much, maybe.
Yeah. Like you would see people like it's like at 9 p.m. just pissing in the street. It's like, bro, you're not. You can't even be that drunk. Why are you pissing in the street?
Yeah, I'll go a little further and like hide yourself. It's exactly. Hiding spots and.
Yeah,
people don't even get out of the street on the sidewalk.
Like me, dude.
Yeah, that's a little extreme. From my window, sometimes I can see some, and I would like to have a BB gun and just
just shoot the water. Yeah, it's like clean yourself.
Yeah,
little washing.
It's not it's not the best view, but it's part of the wilderness, and I think it's I like it. Maybe more than like a super organized and clean city. Like it could be, I don't know. I mean, Dubai didn't give me the idea of clean, but like Singapore, like where people cannot smoke and all, like you cannot even chew a chewing gum because they worry that you're gonna throw the chewing gum on the street. I like it here. Like it's more a little left to itself.
That is one feeling.
Self moderating, like self monitoring.
They kind of there's I would say like they just. Everyone's chill here. Like the police, I don't think I've ever seen a police that's more chill than improv.
True.
Like, I think for legit, like people here, like weed is technically illegal here, but you could like
No, it's decriminalized.
you could
Like it's
fucking
one of the few countries in Europe where it's decriminalized. You can have like up to like I don't know a lot of grams for personal possession. You can have like you can grow 2 plants at home. So.
yeah, but I feel like you could like I don't know the actual rules, but you could like puff in the face of a policeman who'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can feel it with people. Like, people don't feel scared.
Yeah.
People just do things all the time, and I think it's good to not have that super centralized controlling state that's just like always down your throat. It's one of the reasons up here, right?
Yeah, I agree. I kind of because you don't treat people like children, and kind of people have to make their own choices.
Right. Like I'm not a big drugs guy. I don't do any, but just being in a place where it doesn't feel like it's forced.
Yeah.
It feels good. Like I feel more valuable here knowing that it's my choice and I'm not here I'm not doing it because the government's gonna put me in jail or something.
Right. And I think it's cool, and then people become more responsible. People
yes.
make, as you said, they make their own choices, and
I respect people here a lot more when I find people who don't drink or people who don't smoke. It's like, man, if you don't do it in Prague, you're fucking. You deserve a medal. And I'm surprised by how many people don't. Like I go to mainly in comedy for some reason. I know a lot of comedians who don't drink or smoke.
Like sober.
Yeah, no.
Like fully sober or
no, fully.
Are they American or?
Most people who do comedy, yeah, like
because there is
English
also
comedy.
Like this crazy extremism of being fully sober. I think it's like a really just American
thing, right? And that is true.
Because I think they don't have like a drinking culture. But like if you go to Europe or like if you go to Italy, you're never gonna find like a fully sober person. Like someone that drink a little, but not like a fully sober.
Yeah, I would say that there's no healthy drinking culture. Like maybe here, because there's something also I've noticed here. It's like people here, for the most part, they drink very socially, right? Like they do, like people don't like. I very rarely meet someone who's like, I can't sleep if I don't get my beer. It's more like, I'm with people, I'm going to drink.
Yeah.
And you take like 1 or 2 cups or 3 cups max and you're good. Yeah. And you go to sleep and it's fine.
And they fill your cups without even asking.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks empty. I'm like, yeah.
Well, no, they ask usually. Depends on where you are, but yeah.
How local you are. How much they know you.
And yeah, for sure. Yeah, the point of extremism. Yeah, definitely. Americans tend to be very.
Yeah, on the
they swing with the pendulum very hard either way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, actually, I know one Czech girl who's fully sober, so it's not just Americans.
Usually something must have happened.
Yeah, no, something happened. Oh no, something happened. Yeah.
Something
but hey,
investigate.
It's like what happened with your partner? It's like shit.
Some traumas.
Yeah. But you gotta respect it.
Yeah, it's good. Like
so, let's talk about something a bit more topical. So, have you been affected by the rise in gas prices and electricity? It's very rad.
Gas prices a little bit, because I have my car.
Oh, you have
here.
your car, yeah.
Actually, a little bit. Like I saw the price changing, and then in the Czech crowns, like it's always a weird currency. Like I don't really realize how much it is, but I think here is still one of the cheapest places in Europe for gas. It's very close to German prices and. Even at the
Germany has been like
yeah for like gasoline for the car but not that much. Like I remember it got max to like close to 2 maybe 1.9 euro / dollar. Now it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And but now it's already quite low. It's maybe 1.6
so it's getting has it ever increased to the point where you're like, fuck, I need to leave this place or something like that? Or it's like,
no.
It's just like, this is annoying.
I still think here is cheaper than anywhere else. So.
Everywhere else in Europe.
In Europe, yeah.
Although I have been asking people from around the world, and it seems like the price increases are relatively universal. And asking people in Saudi, in Sudan, it's like everywhere is getting a little bit more expensive. Yeah. So I don't think there's a place you can run to escape the effects of inflation and.
I hope the company that we work for is gonna take into consideration inflation and increase the salary proportionally every year. But someone told me that sometimes here they do. It's like not a rare thing. And since we work like,
I think that's kind of expected in every company. It's like if you
last a year, it would be awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Like, salaries are the same since the last 10 years.
No.
Like in Italy,
if you stay well, I mean, I don't know about Italy, but if you stay in a company, especially like an IT company, a good one, like if you last a year, they can increase your salary. Like if you don't get a bonus, that's a very bad sign. That's usually either they want to fire you or like something's or they're going broke. There's no middle ground there.
Time to go.
So it's like yeah. You should expect it.
Would be great because someone told me that they were working for this big beer producer here in Czech Republic, and every year they were getting, I don't know, 2-4% salary increase based on.
That's standard. Like that should be.
No, that would be awesome. I mean, if it was standard everywhere, that would be really nice.
But standard in international companies, especially IT companies, like if as I said, it's like if you're not getting, something's off.
They kind of have.
This is like your first IT job, right?
Second.
Yeah.
So first I was working for. We were doing marketing, and after.
How long
after
did you last marketing?
5 months.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't last a year.
Yeah, it was a very repetitive job. It was templatized and zero creativity.
So like your current one.
Yeah, but the bad thing is that you had to like log in and log out. They would, like,
that's always a pain.
When you were going to the toilet, you were supposed to take because you had like 3 breaks a day, or you had like a lunch break, and you would have like the timer.
That's very rare. That's very old school.
Oh my god, I hated it. I was
had a job
eating.
like that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say I was gonna. I was eating without stopping my time, so I was making food, having my lunch, and then I would break my. I would stop the timer for lunch when I was going to work out. So my lunch break was workout, and my actual lunch break was working hours. But yeah, fuck off.
That's stupid. That's very old school. Yeah. This was back in the. I think they introduced these in like the early 1900s when they wanted to maximize efficiency and just evil capitalism. But unfortunately, it's just something we live with. Yeah, I'm currently looking for a new job, as you probably know. Mm-hmm. Have you ever considered like doing something on the side or getting into? Or you're happy like sort of just doing IT and partying at night?
No, yeah, I always have my mind full of ideas. I feel like I should focus a little more. Because with all these moving, sometimes I feel it's very stressful to go from one place to another. And then there is like a settlement period where you kind of like find your balance and find your order. And in this period, like it's really hard to like try to put your mind into other things. And then when you are relaxed and like now, like I am now,
it's easy to get lazy, or
it's easy to get lazy. Yeah. And then I spend a lot of time doing activities and sports, and then my free time I start to read a lot again, which is nice.
What are you reading?
Now I'm reading. I want to finish *Sapiens*. I have *Sapiens*, and it's such a good book.
That's like the book about human history, right?
Yeah. Human history, human behavior, and how we got where we are, and why we behave as we do.
That's cool. Should have another episode when you're done with that, and I could discuss it more in detail. But it's cool.
Yeah, and then I like to go out and meet people,
meet ladies especially. Yeah.
Meet ladies.
What would you rate Prague in terms of dating cities? Pretty up there.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's like top of the places I've ever been.
You like them Czechs, huh?
I actually never been out.
Just the foreigners here.
I mean, could be Slovak, could be.
No, they're the same thing. But yeah.
But I think it's really nice. I think Eastern European girls, they're really strong. They're really independent. They have a strong character. They're all sometimes maybe too business oriented.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that.
Like very, but you know, they know what they want. When you go out on a date, it doesn't feel like you're going out with like some. I don't want to name places, you know, but like some stupid English girl or even Latina sometimes. Like I was in Portugal, like I could feel the difference between people in Portugal or even people in Italy. Like everyone has.
So you like your girls like smart and they know what they want, though.
Yeah, like you can have like a more fun conversation. You can have like it's more entertaining, and if they find you attractive, like for whatever reason, it makes it even more worth it, you know, because you appreciate them and them appreciating you. Like it's a very good feeling, and it's something. And I feel here there is like a weird characteristic of like Eastern European. I think there is like since they were all like ex-USSR and it was really poor and control states, control nations, they like, especially the education they got from their parents is different than the education we got in the rest of Europe. Because in the 80s, everything was booming in Europe. There was a huge economical growth everywhere, apart from the USSR.
Of course,
So
yeah.
we have the boomers in the rest of Europe, and instead Eastern European still grow up with a little bit of.
Traditional.
That is not traditional. It's more frugal. I don't know. It's more value.
The opposite of being spoiled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
More value oriented. They know the value of work. They know the value of things. They know the value of money.
They're not going to waste your money.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. For example, it never happened that I go out and I find some girls that it wants me to pay. It's always a little bit of a battle of let's do me this time, you the other time, or let's split.
Actually, I find that annoying, but again, this is a cultural difference. I come from a background where I would of course expect to pay, and I almost feel offended if they don't want me to pay, because it's just kind of do you not see me as a man? But that's interesting to see that cultural difference. I usually have to fight. Just I usually have to get very creative in how to do it. I would get up before they get up and go and rush to it.
Yeah, I'm going to the toilet. And
yeah, exactly. And they're usually and then it's sometimes because they're so hardworking and all, and they take work so seriously. Sometimes they get offended. It's oh no, I have to pay. What do you mean you only pay? And it's but after a while they get used to it, and I just pay all the time. So.
Depends also on the amount of dates. After a while it can become expensive. So
I mean, I don't think I date nearly as much as you do, but I'm much more of a once every couple of weeks kind of guy. You're how many times per week? It's
it depends. Some weeks are chill, some weeks are really intense. Because and then also for the online dating, you
fuck online dating.
It's a lot of it kind of sucks. But it's a little bit
addictive,
and I like first dates. I find them so entertaining. And
I understand, yeah, that. I really like the period of just getting to know someone.
Yeah,
and it's just when it's kind of chill and you're just getting to know them and they're getting to know you, and it's kind of exciting. You have these number of cards in your head where it's which part of myself do I want to reveal now? It's
exactly.
It's kind of boring when they know everything about you. It's okay, well, my cards each there's nothing to talk about. Right? Mm-hmm. But if they don't know, it's did you know I do stand-up comedy? It's okay. You just flash that card, right? Yeah.
It's nice. And and it's something I really like. For example, it only happened with English girls or American girls that want not even pretend, not even going to the counter, let me get, absolutely hands in the pocket or cross arms and
that's a little cringe. But who does
that? Yeah, that pisses me off. It's looking at me while I get my cards out. It's
I think that's interesting, but I think a lot of it is in the way that you expect it. So I don't have a problem with a girl expecting me to pay, but so for example. A girl can expect me to pay, but then she's not going to order too much, right? She's going to if I'm the one who's pushing her to okay, you should get dessert. But if she's getting a starter and the main meal and dessert, and then she's give me pay, it's okay, don't be a bitch about it, right? But if she's oh, I don't want to order too much, and then I'm no, you can order, it's fine, I'm gonna pay.
Yeah, different.
But that's the thing. It's the vibe. But if she's giving that entitlement feeling of oh no, I'm gonna. You're gonna pay, bitch, right? It's fuck, now I don't want to pay. It's so there's a lot of subtlety to it, and the way if she's smart and she knows how to communicate, she can get away with a lot. So.
Yeah, and then money, it's always a tricky topic, and people get offended, or people are more stingy, people are more open, and
I think it's also
really, it really changes a lot from nation to nation, and from education to education,
and so I've noticed that I'm someone who I don't mind spending a lot of money on food. But that's the only thing. That's almost the only thing I to spend a lot of money on. So I don't spend a lot of money on that. So it's I would go out with someone and I have no problem throwing down 500, even up to 1,000 crowns on a very fancy date, right? But I'm very rare in that. So a lot of people would be what the fuck? What are you doing? Or I would go out with someone one time and we do fancy, and then we go again. They're are you sure you want to do this? I guess no, but let me go. But so it's a person by person.
Yeah, and you told me before that you want to try more culinary differences.
I should,
here
yeah.
in Prague.
But that's the thing. It's like
I think
if
it's
I'm
a good
gonna spend
place.
a lot of money, I better have a good fucking meal. It's like,
Yeah, sometimes
I've
you have
had-
to try. You know?
But that's the thing, it's like
like
I've had-
movies and sometimes.
I've had some very bad experiences at Czech restaurants, and so I've kind of like crossed them.
I have a
Yeah.
very good list of restaurants here. I can give you like.
That's true. I mean, I think I only had one good Czech restaurant.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple around here like.
Yeah, if you
Actually-
should recommend me, I can
Yeah.
try it.
Also, the honest guide from YouTube, he does
Yeah.
some.
And also,
very
it's
nice,
another thing is just like, so Czech restaurants, it tends to be, this is a lot of pork, right?
Mhm.
Which I can't do. So it's like, so that like removes a decent amount of the good items allegedly. So it's like,
Yeah, they have ducks too. They have
yeah,
beef,
that's the one thing that I
um,
enjoyed last time.
Goulash, I
Duck
think
is
is
good.
beef. I'm not even too sure. I think they can do both way, beef and pork.
I haven't tried it. I should try it.
Yeah. Oh, goulash, you haven't tried it yet? Oh my god, here like half a year. Oh
I
my
don't think
god.
so.
It's
A
actually-
year and a half.
It's good. It's good for winter actually. It's a really good
Mm.
meal for winter. It's really filling. It's really
I
warm.
don't know. I looked at it and it doesn't look attractive. I don't know.
It,
I don't
it
know.
reminds a little bit like of Italian food, and we like sugo, and we like these very
I don't know what's
juicy.
Italian food.
Like
Like for me, it's like Indian, Arab, and a little bit of Asian, and that's pretty much it. Like Chinese, Japanese, that kind of stuff. But
in
that's-
India, there is a very nice one called
Yeah, Indian. I think I've tried like
K2 Brothers.
maybe
with
not.
beef.
Yeah, bro, that one. That's like my favorite. That's like my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
too.
I
It's
had-
right next to my place.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like.
I had a friend, a
That's
girlfriend living in front of it.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, my boy. Yeah.
That was really nice. Actually, yeah, they're really friendly and good food.
Have you ever been to karaoke here, brother?
No.
Have you ever been to karaoke? Period.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in Asia.
In Asia, it's
Yeah.
pretty big. Here, it's
Yeah.
like, I mean,
It's
but
kinda nice.
I want to go.
But like you have private rooms, or it's like everyone together.
Most places here are open. I know only one place with private rooms. It's a
Private
little,
rooms is
it's a
very
little,
fun.
it's a little pricey, and at the same time, like their song selection is actually very limited. So I fucking hate
Yeah.
it. So I'm still looking for like a good place. I want it to be private, and it has like relatively unlimited
Mhm.
songs, right? Because the music I'm into is very obscure. so it's like
Can you bring a USB?
Fuck it. Yeah, that's the annoying
Oh, but
thing.
then
Like
you need
they have such weird like apps and stuff, which like okay, only European super hits. And I'm like, what the fuck? There was one time where I was in a place and they only played like remixes of the songs from a movie. Like they didn't have the original songs from the movie. Oops, they didn't have the original songs from the movie. They only had remixed versions of the movies. And I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Yeah, where did you even find?
I don't know.
They downloaded the
Yeah.
wrong files.
It's fucking stupid, but yeah. So we need to set that up sometime.
Mm.
That's one of the night stuff that I enjoy.
Okay. Actually, we could try also there is a neon mini golf. It's like all dark.
Yeah,
room.
it's next to the mosque. It's like right on top
Yes,
of it.
yes. I think it is. Yes. You have
You
a
can
mini
go
side.
there, just go there, go downstairs, pray, go upstairs. Enjoy the mini golf. Have you ever done golf? Golf.
Golf. No, only drives from like a standing thing, and
It's yeah. I
it's
went
just
to,
like practicing.
Remember, I went to a comedy show here that was like right next to a golf park. It's very big.
Yeah. Have you ever tried? Would you like to?
Golf is like for me. I associate golf with like boring sport. It's like the most boring. It looks pretty boring. It's like
It's kind of growing a lot now. I see a lot of
it's
people
decently
are-
popular.
Yeah.
I mean, when I walk next to the indoor golf place, it's like it's always full. So a lot of people coming in and out.
But mini golf it can be fun, you know. It's
Yeah, it's a nice. It's a
you
nice
get there with a
chill
couple
game.
of friends and you just hit and miss and try again. And
yeah. I'd be down to try it sometime.
you don't have that
activities.
much space that you have to
Yeah. It's
walk.
not that.
Or,
It doesn't feel that professional. I don't feel that bad missing.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
What else? I love saunas. Saunas is something that here they do a lot, and I did.
I went
sauna
like
too.
once. It just felt like very so stuffy.
Stuffy, what you mean?
It's like you can't breathe.
Oh yeah.
I don't like it. I didn't enjoy it that much. But I think maybe it's like
You're from the desert, also.
It's like
What
this
is this? People pay for this?
yeah, exactly. It's like fucking. I'll just walk outside. What do I use? The fucking yeah. I didn't quite get it, but it's like whatever. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. To each their own. But the massage
Yeah.
industry here is also pretty big. You're a big massage enjoyer, huh? But Thai massage, which is actually professional, not like the naughty type,
Yeah,
which is also pretty big here. But you don't have to go for it.
Well, here's the capital of sex and pornography, I think, Prague. Which I haven't seen that much. Like I know there is like
Yeah,
striptease and lap dances
it's pretty
and
big here.
erotic
But
massages.
like if you go to the center, bro, like if you go at like 9 p.m. Although I think they stopped now for some reason.
It's
But
true,
like
there
if
are
you,
those people inviting.
yeah. I don't know why it's always black people just
Yeah.
waiting outside. Like I remember I was once like we were just hanging out with another Arab guy who looked like a bit more rich than me, and people were like, "Oh, Habibi, Habibi, here, Habibi." I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, they know how to target the audience." It's like they
like
know.
pretty blonde.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, no.
that was good times.
And then they do so many sports as well, like beach volleyball. They have a lot of indoor beach volleyball. They do golf frisbee, where basically it's like a golf, but you do it with a disc. Disc golf is called.
So you have to make the disc go into like a hole or something.
Yeah, you have like a basket with chains. It's like maybe this tall, and you have a platform where you start, and it could be like different distances, and you can have like trees in the middle, so you have to kind of curve it, or it's straight. And they have it in many parks. They have it in Vikov, and I love playing frisbee, so it's something that I want to try.
I see the frisbee always in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always ready, never use. And that's pretty cool. And I never seen anywhere else so that they have like 3 or 4 different fields, like different routes, just inside Prague. Like every big park actually have
little frisbee.
it's a little track. Yeah. Then they do badminton also. That is something that you don't really find that much.
Yeah, there's also a lot of places for that too.
Yeah, many people go with mountain biking or cycling. Here I've seen
They
so
into
many
everything.
electric weird things like electric monowheel, electric skateboards, electric scooters, of course. And it's cool. Like
a bit of a skater yourself, huh?
yeah, not enough. But yeah, with electric skateboard is nice. You can. This is not the best city. Like you need to know where it's the roads are smooth because there is a lot of cobblestone.
The roads here are pretty rough. Like I sometimes use the scooter if I want to go to a place fast, and it's like some of the roads it fucks you up.
Yeah, even the bicycle, like the Bolt bicycle, it has 0 suspension. So when it's like cobblestone, like you can't even hold anything. Like you just
Yeah, I hate it. 'Cause I would be having like my watch here, and then like fucking my little beads here, and then be just shaking the entire time. Yeah, it's rough.
A lot of ups and downs. No, but it's a great city. I mean, I can't recommend it enough, and maybe you should stop recommending it. You don't want to make it too
too attractive.
Yeah.
I think I told someone this is like one of the reasons Prague is so good is that it's not everyone knows it's so good. So it's like you don't want to spread the word that it's so good. So it's like you want to keep it like everyone who's in Prague is like our little secret, right?
Yeah, and I think it grew a lot in the most recent years. So it's kind of a
relative. I mean, it used to be, but like nowhere near as much as the big cities. But relative to Prague's history, it's definitely grown a lot.
Now, what's something that I'm planning to do
in life, other than make a banana bank?
In life, I don't know. I'm a big promoter of cryptocurrencies and blockchain. I think there is a lot.
How's that going for you right now?
Well, you know, it's up and down, but it's 5 years I'm playing with it, and
yeah, recently there's been quite a big downturn.
Yeah.
I feel like like a lot of the people that I used to follow, who talk a lot about Bitcoin, just don't talk about it anymore.
Kind of disappear when it's about.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it goes down, no one's talking about it. It goes up, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. You know, people feel guilty and they're like, "Oh fuck, I don't want to show my face anymore." No, but there's been like since I was in China actually that I play with it, and I think people get a little lost into the monetary value and the possibility of making money.
Yeah.
And I think what blockchains offer it's a new ledger system, and every time like society introduces a new ledger system, like economy changes, and from like the tablets where they write down like how much grains to like the double entry system, like in the
But that's
Middle
the
Age.
thing. I feel like it's a matter of adoption. And with these kind of things, it's like it's kind of like Facebook. Like when no one's on Facebook, Facebook is not valuable. If everyone's on Facebook, you have to be on Facebook to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
Yeah,
It's the market effect, right? If everyone's using it,
you know, like
and I feel like the more people are, the more prices are increasing, and the more paper money is becoming a lot more valueless. And the more like platforms and online places are using Bitcoin. I feel like that's actually probably the biggest part. The fact that like Bitcoin doesn't or crypto in general, it doesn't instantly translate into like real world value most of the time. Like there's a few places where you can go and fucking buy a coffee with your crypto, but that's the exception, right? It's not the rule. But the I know it's like some platforms, you know, where you can use Visa that will just take out of your crypto, and that was a big step. The more like that happens, the more it becomes real, and we need like more processing.
The first changes we're not gonna see though. It's gonna be in the back end. It's gonna be in the background. You know, like providers of services. They're gonna start to implement like blockchains as their main database system. And
but that doesn't really affect the like. The
no, exactly. It's gonna be a slow change, you know, and I think those
like
are
NFTs,
the companies
like
that
NFTs,
are gonna make.
Like NFTs are. Again, it goes. You have like the two extremes where you have people who think they're valueless and people who think, you know, they're the new best thing and you have to invest in them and blah blah blah. But they're actually they're like a very niche thing where like, okay, they're valuable for like the art community. I've actually, it's very funny. Like at a comedy show, I met like someone who's like a professional like NFT trader. Like he only makes money by buying and selling NFTs.
Okay. He's probably doing very bad too right now.
No, he's not. I mean. Well, last I checked him was a couple of months ago, so I don't know. But I have his Discord. I can like someone say, "Yo, bro, how's it going?" But the guy was doing pretty damn well before, and it's a different world. Like when you're in that world, you can see the value of it.
Yeah, but you need to see like what they bring. You know, like even NFTs, like what they do. It's like an undeniable source of truth for ownership.
Exactly,
online,
and it's online.
You know?
That's the thing. It's the online, and the more online platform.
It's like a how do you call it? Notary signature, but you don't need a notary, and everyone can verify that it's true, you know. And
but that's
these are like new technologies that are gonna take place of like old systems, like how the blockchain is gonna like get over like the banking system. You know, you can already get loans, you can already borrow money, you can already like invest your crypto and have interest out of it, like all like done by lines of code.
There's already a lot of people adopting and using things. Actually, one of my I was like close friends with like one of the main. I'd say Bitcoin or crypto entrepreneurs back in Saudi, and like he started like with a couple of other people. He started like the main platform in the Middle East right now for crypto exchange, and they had one of their big investment. I think actually the biggest exchange platforms. I think they bought them at like a couple billion, but I forgot. What's the biggest exchange in the US?
Kraken maybe.
No.
Binance.
Yeah, I think Binance bought them. So
Binance bought them. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they're doing pretty well.
The guy from Binance, it's you know, fuck Elon Musk. He probably has more money. He probably has the money that Saudi princes have.
Yeah, bro, you gotta make it. Something. I need to have him on the podcast or something.
He's probably living like a good life right now.
Yeah, he's like, well, I ain't got no time for you. But no, he'd come. But yeah, that's cool. Do you follow any like team sports here?
No.
I think there was a big game like the past few weeks.
I once there was a
last
Finland
Friday.
Versus Czech Republic.
Yes, I was in the metro, and it was the first time I've seen the metro like actually full, and it was full with people with like Finland shirts. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I learned about the game. Was it basketball or what was it?
I think it was yesterday, or was it
basketball? There was a big game last Friday.
It was basketball.
It was a big game last Friday, and then there's other games. I think there's like the World Championship right now. I didn't even know basketball is that big here. Well, yeah, it is.
Interesting.
It's cool. Yeah.
And that's another thing I like here, that they have like all these fields everywhere. Like there is basketball fields and there is soccer fields, and you know, people can go and practice and play their own teams, and workout stations like these outdoor.
Yeah, those are everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's a residual of USSR.
That's the little beep that happens every month. Seventh day of the month. Yeah.
Okay, no, I was just worried that it wasn't like the truck lifting my car.
For those of you who don't know, I think like at the beginning of every month here, they have like these sirens. I don't know what they are alarm for, but they're like some kind of test alarm for something. Was it for nuclear? I don't know. I don't think it's that big, but it's some kind of alarm for something. But yeah.
It's like those kind of alarms.
Yeah. You've probably heard them before.
Yeah. Like
one of the comedians has a bit about it. Like he invites his like American friends who don't know anything, and they hear the sirens and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" He's like, "The nuclear wars are here! Run out!" And he just runs away. Yeah.
The Russian invaded. Move.
Are you ready when the Russians come?
So yes and no. I keep at all times like a good month of food in my apartment, like a month worth of food, probably maybe a little more, and
But no machine guns, huh?
no machine guns.
So you're not
No.
prepared.
Yeah, no weapons at all.
I have a friend
Exactly.
who has a relative who owns a gun company, so I need to get my hands on something. You want to go
Yeah.
for a gun range?
Yeah. We talked about it.
Practice,
Maybe
yeah.
I definitely want to go. We also have to go out do archery again. Yeah.
We did
again.
it first.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
That was a plan.
This weekend. Go for archery. How do you?
Weekend is
prefer to
really
do
hard.
it?
Yeah,
You got your
weekend's better.
cuties. Huh?
Yeah. No, this weekend also have a birthday of
Oh.
my best friend's fiance and her sister, his sister.
Nice. All right, so we'll organize all of that. I think we've talked about maybe like 5 different activities we got to organize. Like we got camping, got archery, you got shooting. So at least
Yeah, I don't know.
Indoor
I feel
golf.
like in my life now, like I'm really focused on doing things that I want to do more than
meeting arbitrary deadlines or goals.
yeah, and also like planning. Like I feel like okay, I really wanted to do downhill, so let's try to like focus on finding like places to go downhill, like look for a bicycle, or I really wanted to get better. at
Actually, you know
Brazilian
what?
Jiu-Jitsu,
The next, so my brother, sorry to cut you off. My brother's coming in like 2 weeks, so I want to like prepare like a bunch of fun activities. So it's
Alright.
we need to get like we need to try out a lot of stuff in the next 2 weeks so we can go camping with him, or we can go
A list of- a list of
gunsling, everything to do this. Just open that up and just
Mhm.
go for it. So
A to-do
sounds
list,
like a plan. All right, my dude. I think we could leave it at that. It's going on for a while, so that was sufficient. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you as well. Next one's going to be a bit more specific topic, but this one's more general. Topical. But it was fun. I look forward to having the next one. So, where can people follow you if you want to shout out any social media?
Yeah, maybe Instagram. Ugo _Gallo. UGO_GAL.
I'll be posting that, so you follow him, and you can follow us on YouTube, on what's the other thing called, Spotify, Babika the Traveler. Thanks you for listening, and goodbye.
Ciao.
Yeah.